Hello and welcome to the fifth part of the video tutorial on LibreOffice 7 Impress. In this part, I'll tell you about some interesting features of LibreOffice 7 Impress. Some of these features are pretty unique. So let's start. Let me first tell you about the QR code. So you can actually go to Insert from the menu. If you don't see the menu, you can just click on this button. Then go to Insert and then go to Object and then pick up QR code. So what this does is it opens up a small box for you and you can put in some piece of text or a URL. So I have this presentation that I'm currently showing on my Google Drive and I've published it on the web, and so I have a link. So I'm just going to go and paste that link. So that's just about it. So you can just simply come here and press OK. So a QR code is created for this particular link. And let me just cut this and come to the end and put this on my thanks slide. So as my presentation is finishing, I'm giving my audience a QR code. Just simply leave a message for them. So I have made this presentation available online, and I'm just informing my audience after my talk is finished that if you were to scan this QR code, you can actually view this presentation online. And what the audience does is that if suppose, for example, if this was uh, being given in a hall, people will have to start QR code reader app on their phone and walk up towards the screen as they go out and just simply point it towards the screen. And the moment you point it towards the screen, you will be taken to that particular site. Now, the same QR code can actually also be used to share with the audience your visiting card details, your phone number, and email, and all those kinds of things. And also maybe a link to your organization's website. Let's see how it pans out using a mobile phone. Remember, if you are in a hall, you will have to come close to the screen to scan this code. So I'm sitting in the audience and the slide is on the screen, which has the QR code. So I just use my phone from the audience side and point to the slide. The QR code reader automatically scans the QR code and it has the presentation already showing. It took me online and it is starting to show me the presentation. So you can actually lead people to a certain site, your website, or a site where the presentation has actually been uploaded. And if you wanted to give your visiting card to people in the audience, the same can actually be embedded inside a QR code. Let's now see another interesting feature of LibreOffice 7 Impress, and this feature is called as Imagemaps. So what this feature permits you to do is to, let us say, for example, if we had a screenshot of a map, you can actually make parts of this map clickable and connect them to either some web page or some photograph or any other resource that can actually be reached. So let's try to do this. The first thing you want to do is to click on this image and select it. Then go to Tools and then click on Image Map. So the moment you do that, you can see this entire picture or map available here. And the next step is you need to demarcate a small area of the map which will become clickable. So there are a few tools that you can choose. You can choose a rectangle, you can choose a circle, you can draw a polygon, and you can also draw freeform. So I'm going to choose a rectangle and I'm going to create a rectangle over Bhopal Lake. So a small rectangle has been created. So this is the area that will become clickable. and now we want to put in a link to a photograph. So this can be either on your computer's hard drive, in which case you will have to provide the full path including the name of the image, or otherwise it can be an online resource. For this example, I have taken an online image, and I've just simply inserted the image link here, and that's just about it. So you can just simply press apply and then close. So when you close, it says changes have been made, and do you want to save? We will say yes, and we are back in again here. So when you move your mouse here, it actually starts showing you a link, but then this becomes really very active when you view this slide during the slideshow. So when you click on it, this is what you see on the slide. So when you move your mouse, nothing happens except for that time when you bring your mouse on top of the area which you had made clickable through Imagemaps. You move away, the cursor changes to an arrow. Bring your cursor back again on top of that area, it becomes a hand which is pointing to a link. So when you click on it, that image will open up. So this is how you can actually create an image map, which is basically a picture whose areas become clickable. Let's say if you want to repeat this exercise again, I'm going to click this one more time, and I'm going to go to Tools, Image Map, and this time around I'm going to create a small rectangle over one vihar. And now all I have to do is to just provide the address of the image. So I'm just going to paste an online image, and then I'll just apply and close and save. So this time around, when we start the slide, not only we have a link over Upper Lake Bhopal, but we also have a link on One Vihar National Park, and so we can just click on it and see an image of people inside One Vihar. So this is how you can actually create image maps. Now, if you wanted to remove any of these links, all you have to do is to just click on the image once again, go to Tools and open up Image Map, and then just click on it and press delete. So when you do that, that particular image link has now vanished, and likewise you can do the same for the other one, and just simply apply and close and save. So when you see this slide again, you will see that both those areas are not clickable. This is very useful, say for example, if you wanted to show districts of a state, so you can make the state clickable. If suppose you had a map and you wanted to show counties or districts, you can make that particular portion of the bigger map or the larger map clickable, and when you click on it, it'll open up another map that is showing you counties or districts, etc., etc. So it can be very useful to illustrate or drill down into pictures. So let me now show you another interesting tool. It's called as Colorreplacer. So what Colorreplacer does is that if you have images which are having background and you wanted to get rid of the background, you can actually do that using Colorreplacer. So I have two images on this slide. The background of the slide is white, and one of the images has a uniform black background, while the other image has a variable blue background, and if you look at this region, it is a little bit white as well. So all you have to do is just simply go to Tools and click on Colorreplacer. So a small dialog opens. You will click on the pipette icon and then just come here and point to an area of the background, so that color is picked up in the first box, and this is the tolerance. So we can use this a little later on, but then all you have to do is just come here and press replace. So what we are doing is we are replacing the source color with a transparent color. You can replace the background with any other color but we will leave the transparent color for now because we want the background to go. So we will just press replace. So that background has gone, and you can actually use the color replacer in this particular manner. If you find that some parts of the background have not gone, so you can just either increase the tolerance, and what tolerance does is that when you increase the tolerance, more shades of this color get included. So you can try that. Let's now have a look at the other image and try to remove the background from this image. So we will just get rid of this, and we will go to tools and pick up color replacer once again. So we will pick up the pipette and pick up one shade of blue. So I can clearly see that there's another shade of blue here. So I will click on the second box to include another shade, click on pipette and come here, choose pipette and come here and add that. So you can see a slight difference here. Then I can come here, then choose this gray area. So this is also there, and I can open this up again and come here and choose this one. So once you are done, you can just press replace, and a lot of that background actually goes away, but sometimes it is not possible to remove the background completely. So you can just increase the tolerance and press replace again, so more of it will go. You can increase the background on the other colors also, so more of it will go. And let me increase the background from the first one. So we are almost there. If you want to point to a particular color, just click on a particular box. Let us say, for example, this one, and you can then pick up the pipette and come and point to this particular color that you want to remove and press replace. So there we are. So we can actually repeatedly work with this tool and keep removing the background till we have the desired result. It's more of hit and trial, but it works perfectly. So try this out. There is also an interesting feature which can be handy, and it is called as summary slide. And what this does is that it will just create a slide that is having titles of all the slides. So if we go here, slide, and go on to summary slide, it adds at the end a slide that has the titles of all the slides present here. So this slide can actually be used at the end to summarize what was spoken in the presentation just before thanks. Alternatively, you can carry it right up to the top and put it right up front to kind of show the agenda for the talk. So you can then start your talk by saying what you are going to cover in this particular talk, and maybe delete whatever you don't want here. And this can be a really handy feature. It can help create an agenda slide or a summary slide very, very quickly. There is a very useful tool available from tools, and it is called as minimize presentation. So no clues for guessing what this would do. So this is actually a wizard. So if you had a very big presentation with lots and lots of images, this can be a really useful tool. You can just click on it and it will guide you through the steps. So it is recommended that you read every screen and make appropriate choices. So it's just taking you through various phases or steps. In this particular case, it is saying that it wants to delete any hidden slides. So if you're okay with that, it's good. Otherwise, you can uncheck it. And then next, and then next. So it comes back and tells you that the current size is 2.4 MB, and the new size is going to be 1.2 MB, which is exactly the half of this small presentation. In larger presentations, there can be very substantial size gains. So all you have to do then is to press finish, and you will have a minimized presentation that you can easily carry forward. Let me finally show you one unique tool that LibreOffice Impress and LibreOffice in general provides, that is for redaction. So redaction is basically when you want to share a document with somebody else but want certain passages of that document to be hidden, which basically means that the person who is receiving these documents should have no way to read the words that have actually been blacked or whited out. So that is redaction. It is commonly used in legal documents where documents are shared after redaction. So while you do get your documents, not everything in the document is readable. So this is not very commonly used, but then let us see how this works. So you can click on Redact, and when you do so, notice that your presentation is in the background, and a copy of your presentation has actually now been opened in another application that is called as LibreOffice Draw. And here you will see a redaction toolbar. So basically the idea is very simple. Anything that you don't want people to see, just simply go there and use the rectangle or freeform tools. Say for example, I want to redact the word camera, don't want people to see or read this word. I'll just go and draw a rectangle around camera. And then let's say for example, I'm not interested to show people this has to be classified. So I will draw a rectangle around this. Subsequently down, I don't want people to see this. And maybe one more. So don't want people to read this. Everything else is fine. So when you have done this, you can then come back and you have two options. One is you can directly export to PDF, where all these areas which you have demarcated by rectangles will be whited out, or otherwise you can export to PDF where all these areas will actually be blacked out. So let us choose black, and I'm going to click on this, and as you can see, these areas have actually been blacked out. So when I open the saved PDF and as I scroll down, you will see that the areas that you had marked as rectangles have been redacted or blacked out, and you can now safely share this document with somebody else after you have hidden all the classified information. So once you are done, you can do away with the LibreOffice Draw version of your presentation. That job is over. And if you want, you can save it, or you can choose not to save it. And so when we get back, nothing has happened here. No rectangles have been created here. They were created in the draw impression of this presentation. This has another version, and this version is auto redact. So what is meant here is that you can come here and add words that LibreOffice Impress is going to search through your entire document and redact. So say for example, I don't want camera to be seen in my presentation as I did manually in the previous demonstration. I don't want mythical bird to be seen, so I can keep adding targets. So say for example, I want to add grassland. So I will just put it in the content and press OK. And let me say I also want to put download. So you can make it case sensitive, you can make it whole words only. So I have provided a list of words that I don't want to be seen when this presentation is shared. These could be pretty useful, phone numbers of people, or for example, names of people or identities of people, or personally identifiable information if it is repeating again and again in the document. And when you're sharing something with somebody else, you don't want that information to be public. So you can keep adding targets. And once you are done, you can just press OK. So it automatically goes and labels all those areas or redacts all those areas. So something that we had previously done using the rectangle tool has now automatically been done by auto redact. Okay, and the remaining procedure is exactly the same. You can export as black, which we did the last time. Let's try white. Save. So when we open the PDF, you will see that all areas, because we chose white, all areas have actually been whited out, and people cannot actually see what was written here. So this is a useful feature. Thanks for watching.